Hey everyone, welcome back to the Bronco Garage. Monster Mike here, and I've got a special treat for you. Behind me is the Duck, the originator of the DuckTuff lift system offered by James Duff. Now, this one here has all of the really great parts that creates that performance package that you need for your Bronco to make it the best driving, best controlling, modern feel early Bronco that you can ever buy. Now, I'm gonna dive into the DNA of the Duck and show you guys just what it takes to build your very own DuckTuff lift on the Bronco Garage. Quick rundown on this 1973 boxwood green poly Bronco behind me. It's got a 2.5-inch lift, 35s, 1250/17 with method racing wheels, and a 1-inch body lift. Also comes with a 347 stroker, AOD with custom internals, and matching with a Dana 20, 9-inch 44. And you know what? If you want to dive into some of the other really unique custom specs on this build, check out classicbroncos.com. And there's over 73 pages with 1,100 posts on this Bronco that took about 2 years to build, all in-house here at Lick Creek Restorations. Now let's get into the details of what makes the Duck DuckTuff. Let me walk you guys through when you go to DuffTuff.com and you're going to start selecting all the components to build your very own DuckTuff. Down below inside the description, you can click on the link and that will take you right to where I'm talking right now. So the first thing you're going to look at is color. All right, what color do you want to choose for your Bronco? Well, as you can see, there's a custom color on this Bronco, but the two choices that you have are going to be the James Duff Signature Blue or the Midnight Black. Now, what that pertains to exactly is the T-Rex arms right here and the coil springs, whether you want them black or blue. You can also option out the torque tamer, which rounds out this performance package. Again, blue or black on that as well. Now, from there, you're going to select what year your Bronco is. Now, you're probably wondering, well, aren't they all the same? What's the big difference here? Well, 66 actually had different shock mounts, and 76 and 77, they had a different track bar mount. So it's very important that you select the correct year so James Duff can get you the correct components for your build. Next thing you want to choose is your leaf springs. Now, you'll notice that it offers you medium duty or heavy duty. Now, what does that mean? Does that mean that one of them is going to ride harsher than the other? No, that has nothing to do with your ride quality. Does not change between the two options. The only reason you choose between the two is if you have other options on the back of your Bronco that would make it heavier. So what I mean by that is you have a hardtop or you have a large fuel cell like 20 to 23 gallons, tire carrier, heavy duty bumper, back seat, interior, tools, supplies, gear, stuff like that. Any three of those combined together can change the ride height. The whole secret of this performance package working is to get better caster angles. The better caster you have in an early Bronco, the better it performs. Only problem is, there's a good chance that your drive shaft could start binding. Now, we got a fix for that, and it's really important to match all of these components together so you get the best of both worlds. Next from there, you're going to choose your shocks. Now, again, there's no wrong answer here. You can choose a Duff 7030 classic style shock, or you can choose the brand new MS 2020. It just depends on what you want to do with your Bronco. If you want to just enjoy it for nice daily cruising and just going out and having fun, that's great. You can choose a Duff 7030. That's a really great shock for this system. Now, if you're really more into the high speed or cornering, or you just want a little more performance out of it, I would really recommend the MS 2020. Now from there, that really ties in this is your sway bars. Now on the front, you have a choice between a quick detach or just a standard sway bar. Now it really depends on whether you plan on going out and off-roading. if you ever see yourself using this Bronco for off-roading, you want to choose the sway bar with the quick detach. You're just going to be on the street, you don't need that. Now, you'll notice that there are no drop-down options for your rear sway bar because it already comes included in the DuckTuff Performance package. Let me show you a few quick points about the rear sway bar while we're here. All right, so we're at the back of the Duck here, and you can see the rear sway bar and how it's set up. The most important part to notice here is that it is working around the torque tamer. And that's something that's really important. When you buy these components, they have to work with each other. It can be somewhat of a puzzle at first. I wanted to give you a really quick demonstration of how these parts work together. All right, moving on to the front of the Bronco, you'll notice that Tom has a few winter projects to do on his to get it to the latest and greatest that James Duff has to offer. One of those things being the heim steer, and also behind it, the adjustable track bar. Now, adjustable track bar comes standard with all DuckTuffs, but what also is offered is a heavy-duty track bar end. That would be right up here where it goes on your track bar bracket at the frame. Now, the reason why you would choose that is if you're going to be putting a lot of freeway miles on, or if you plan on going off-road, or a little bit of both, this is going to stand the test of time. You're not gonna have to worry about it, and let's face it, it makes it more maintenance free. Now, you notice that the steering system here is not James Duff. Now, one of the things that Tom has noticed that there's a little bit of bump steer that he's dealing with, and that's why he is going to be switching over to heim steer, and this is the other reason why that it is included with every DuckTuff system. Moving on from there, you're gonna see that there is a drop Pitman arm here to correct all the geometry in the front. With the 2.5-inch DuckTuff, there is no drop Pitman arm required, and so you're going to choose whether you need a late or early style stock Pitman arm to put you back to the correct geometry for this system. All right, so moving on from heim steer, the next on your list of drop-down options for the DuckTuff is body lift. Let's look into that. This is a very, very important option that you need to decide what makes the most sense for you and how you want your stance for your Bronco. Are you gonna run 33s? Are you gonna run 35s? Are you gonna run cut? Are you gonna run uncut? Now, you need to understand which works best for which. So for instance, if you wanna run uncut and you don't want a body lift, you're gonna wanna run 31s. You put a body lift on, and in this case, it would be a 1-inch body lift, and you're gonna wanna go to 33s, or that's what you can run with that 1-inch body lift, uncut. Now from there, if you cut the rear fenders, then you can run 33s with no body lift, add a 1-inch body lift, boom, you got 35s, which is exactly what we've got behind me on the Duck. If you're not sure what cut versus uncut means on your Bronco, well, very simply, it means whether you have the rear fender cut out or intact. And here you can see that the Duck has the fender cut out, and it features Bronco design fiberglass fender flares. Now let's walk over to a Bronco over here that shows you what uncut looks like. All right, so right here we've got a Bronco that is what we call uncut. That means that the rear fender is completely intact. And this here is where you would have either a 31 with no body lift, or you would choose a 1-inch body lift and you could fit up to a 33. Now keep in mind, the offset of your wheel and the size and width of your tire also factor in here. All right, so the meat and potatoes of the DuckTuff Performance package is pretty much done, but here you've got some options that you really want to consider to round it out. So one of those add-ons would be the torque tamer. The torque tamer controls axle wrap. Now, why do you need to control axle wrap? Well, when you put a softer progressive leaf spring on your Bronco, it is going to allow the axle to move more freely. And if you've got anything like, high horsepower, deeper gearing, bigger tires, all those things factor into your rear axle moving more. And what that means is that your pinion is going to pivot upwards. When it pivots, it then puts stress on your U-joints inside your drive shaft. And then of course, you can have U-joint drive shaft failure. You don't want any of that. What's also great about the torque tamer is it also can smooth out your shift points when you're driving an automatic, and it also works the opposite way when you're braking. Hard brakes will actually be a lot more responsive. Now, there's also another great feature that you can add to the Torque Tamer, and that is the Torque Tamer bolt-on bracket. That's right, you now do not have to do any welding whatsoever to get the benefits of an anti-axle wrap system. Now, for more information on the Torque Tamer bolt-on bracket, check out the video card above. So next on the list of options for your DuckTuff performance package is drive shafts. Now, why would you need new drive shafts? Well, the thing is if you want this to really work, you've got to run the 7-degree C bushings with the T-Rex arms. And of course, it's going to be on a 2.5-inch lift. So what that means is this pinion angle is going to rotate down, and then your drive shafts that you currently are running could possibly bind up. If they bind up, well, then of course they don't work. So this option here offers you a all-American made Spicer drive shaft that has the best quality components, but even better, it offers the best pinion angle clearance, and it is long travel. This is great because you can also do this for the rear, and these are greaseless joints. They don't sling any of the grease all over the bottom of your Bronco, and they last for a very long time. All right, to round out the options on your DuckTuff performance package is the C-caps. C-caps are not included with this system. In fact, they're not included with the T-Rex arms either. So most times you're going to have C-caps already on your Bronco, and you can reuse them. That's fine. No problem at all. But if you want to update them, if you want to change them out, it is an option. And you can actually do them in bare if you want to weld something to them, like a shock mount or anything like that. Or you can also choose the C-cap in the same color as the T-Rex arms that you bought, whether it come in signature Duff blue or midnight black. All right, so that option's out. You're DuckTuff. You're done. It's time to go and get this baby on your Bronco, and let's go for a ride. In fact, I think we should go for a ride right now. Let's go do it. I've driven a lot of Broncos in the time that I've been around them, and I can tell you honestly that there's always something on every one of them that I would like to change or improve. This is the first Bronco that I've gotten to drive that has checked every box on my list in terms of performance, drivability, handling, control, and just an overall amazing experience. While off-road, you can see the Duck soaks up bumps while the MS 2020 shocks keep the wheels firmly planted to the ground. Under hard throttle and gear shifts, acceleration is smooth. This is due to the rear axle anti-wrap device and front axle steering and suspension components working together. Because of this, the driver's experience is amplified, giving them ultimate control on and off-road. A sports car-like feel on winding roads allows you to push the Bronco to its full potential due to the performance shock package, sway bars, and T-Rex arms. Bumps, dips, and unlevel terrain are no match against this Bronco. Whether you're on a street cruise or heading to the trails, the DuckTuff Performance Package has you covered. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the breakdown video of the DNA of the Duck And if you're interested in getting your very own DuckTuff performance package for your Bronco, you can check out DuffTuff.com, and the link is down below in the description. Now, keep in mind when you place your order, there can be up to 4 to 6 weeks of delay due to worldwide shortages. Now, this also is going to be a 500 to 600 pound package, so it is going to be sent to you via freight. Now, keep in mind, the James Duff salesman is going to be calling you back to collect the final payment for your shipping charges. Also, he's going to coordinate the details of the freight delivery. Last but not least, please be sure that you are committed when placing your order, because there will be a 3% cancellation fee if the order is canceled before it ships. I want to thank all you guys for watching our videos. We've got a lot of great content coming along the way. And if you like the new artwork that we came out with on this t-shirt, you can check it out at DuffTuff.com and just type in Bronco Maniac. And of course, don't forget to subscribe. Love to hear you guys' feedback and comments below. We'll catch you guys next time.